Hello there, my name is Martin Henley. This is my photography blog, Super Sharp Shooting. And what we're doing in this series that I'm calling Way Back Photos is we're taking photos that I took a long time ago and we are talking about them so that we can transcribe the text so that Google will have something so that maybe it can put it at the top of their search engine and maybe people will get to see my photos. That's kind of what's going on. This is episode number 6. I have recorded this already once today, but didn't turn the microphone on, so we are recording it again. And what this looks like is this. We've recovered lots of my old photographs from the drives, Facebook, etc., and now we're putting them on the website so that there's a chance that they may not get lost again, and people will have a sense of what they are. So in 2008, so you can see again, November 2011 was the last post, and the next one we have is November 2008. There is categorically no way that I wasn't out taking photographs in that year, but those photographs are lost, so who knows? It's another good reason to create this blog and have my photos stored somewhere else. Now, at this time, I was married to somebody who was quite happy to leave the house and go for a walk and do things, and that's what would have been going on this day, where we went to the New Forest, which is in Hampshire, so it's probably an hour away from where we were living in West Sussex, to photograph a hunt. Now, what do I want to say about fox hunting? I want to say that I don't condone fox hunting. By this time, fox hunting was actually illegal, so there is a good chance that these people weren't actually fox hunting. They might have been hunting a thing that smells like a fox, potentially, but I don't know. You know, these people are really excited about fox hunting. And I can imagine how exciting fox hunting is. It must be tremendously exciting to go out on a Sunday morning, drink a little bit of alcohol, get on a horse and charge around the countryside, through people's gardens, over walls, through people's, whatever it is. That must be tremendously exciting. There's trumpets, there's dogs, there's all sorts of stuff going on. And there's jodhpurs, which has always quite excited me. So these are the photos of that day, and I still really like these photographs because I mean, they've had a horrible edit. They've got a horrible something going on for definite, which is you know, it's over vivid, over contrasty, over. They look a little bit muggy to me. But I probably edited these in 2014, so quite a long time after the effect. But I still do quite like these photographs because, like for here, for example, this is shot at 82 millimeters, so I was definitely shooting on the 70 to 300 millimeter lens. But you get a real sense of the UK in November in the New Forest. You know, it's cold, it's wet, it's damp, it's green. You can see like I don't know what that's called when this kind of steam comes out of the horse's mouth. You can only imagine how much that horse must be worth, an absolute fortune. But I kind of like that I kind of got the sense of this whole event is what I like about it. And so if we look at the EXIF here, for example, this was shot at 5.6 on auto at a 13th of a second at 400 ISO. It would be a better photograph, obviously, if the ISO had come down. The aperture couldn't have come down. I think that was the fastest that aperture could have gone. 4.5, it could have come down. A stop, maybe. But yeah, I think it really gets the sense. And then as you come through, you can see that nothing is sharp. Maybe this lady in the back is sharp. She's not moving, and she's a long way away. But I like all of the movement, all of the energy. Like these people are charging through the woods. So I like that it has all of this motion blur. We've spoken about the edit. The edit probably isn't a filter that I would use now. I mean, I would hope that this would be sharper. One of these people would be sharp now if I was shooting it, because I'd be aiming to focus on someone. And I would organise the EXIF so that it wasn't so extreme, maybe. So yeah, so that's interesting. I like the fact that there's all of this motion blur. You can really feel the energy. And again, these guys are, I wouldn't say sharp, maybe these guys right at the back are the sharpest. They're standing around. This guy's already charging off somewhere. He's decided he's going to charge. And this horse is all the way over here in the actual woods. And then you can see, I love this. This is complete motion blur. He's the closest at f4.5. But I don't think this is even depth of field. You could see like the sweat, the steam coming off the horses and the people. They're all standing around having a chat, pulling this guy out. This guy's completely motion blurred. I love it. It feels like energy to me. It really does. And then here, I mean, I don't know what this is. This is like some art filter. I think it was Aperture that I was editing with at this point. But it's got such mood about it, don't you think? Am I right? Again, this guy completely blurred, looking at me, thinking, do I have to murder this person? He's seen me fox hunting, but he didn't murder me, obviously. I'm still here. This guy, the lady here, probably the sharpest, this guy coming out of the trees. Such amazing energy. And here we are back at the front. And I can tell you the only other story I've got about fox hunting is I used to work for a business in London, like a long time ago, long before this. It was in the 90s when fox hunting was still legal. And the management in this business were all ex-military officers, British Army officers, ex-military. And we had this one guy, Nigel, who was a bit of a liberal. He was like politically in the council as a liberal, vegan, anti-cruel sports, obviously, mistreatment of animals, all these, like vocally so. And then what used to happen every Monday morning, or what used to happen anyway, is the captain or major, whoever was our manager, if we were late, would put the speaking phone on our phones. And he'd be like, so you'd get to your desk and your phone would be going. And on the third beep, the time will be 9:18 and 17 seconds. Beep, beep, beep. And then on the next thing, it would be 9:18 and 25 seconds. Beep, beep, beep. So you'd get to your desk and it would be telling you you're late. And the thing about Nigel is that he was always late. And we always had a meeting on a first thing on a Monday morning. So Nigel comes in late. The meeting's already happening. The speaking clock's running on his phone, and this guy, whoever it is, the sergeant major, captain major, whatever he was, says to Nigel, I've got good news for you and I've got bad news. What do you want first, the good news or the bad news? So Nigel says, the bad news first. And he says, well, the bad news is you're late. And Nigel says, okay, so what's the good news? And he says, well, the good news is there's 2 less foxes on the Surrey-Hampshire border this morning. So they'd obviously been out fox hunting at the weekend. So that's everything I know about fox hunting. I don't condone it, but I can imagine it's tremendously exciting. Going out, it's freezing cold. You have a little toddy of something, and then you get on this huge horse, charge about the countryside with your dogs and your trumpets and all of these things. I can imagine it's tremendously exciting. Anyway, that brings us to the end of, where were we? We are at the end of episode 6, which means I will see you now in episode number 7. Hope you like my little numbers. And we will see what kind of photographs I was taking then.